Hey, everybody. Welcome to Web3 Academy podcast. This is the inaugural, the first
Numero
ever.
uno.
Oh, wow. Where it all begins. Couldn't be more excited to be here. This is all about us sharing the Web3 journey with you, us figuring it out as we go. We're diving headfirst in the Web3 journey, and we'll give you a little bit of a background on Kyle here and myself throughout this first podcast episode. But really, we're looking to give you guys the tools and the information that you really need to bring Web3 into your business, into your organization, into your community. Amazing all the systems that Web3 can apply to and the amount of tools that are available. And holy shit, is it growing fast. So we're just trying to keep up, trying to keep in front of it. And that's what we're all about here today, is just staying ahead of the curve. With that, let's talk a little bit about what is Web3 Academy. Kai, tell us what is Web3 Academy?
Look, I don't think we know the answer to what Web3 Academy is yet. I think we have some ideas of where we want it to go. But really what Web3 Academy is it's a place that we're going to block out all of the crazy noise that comes with crypto and a speculative volatile asset, right? I think a lot of people don't realize how much damn utility there is in this Web3 space because they're just so focused on the numbers and number go up. And so this is a place where we're going to try to just like block out all that noise, and we're going to learn like, how do we actually use these things to build, whether that's a new business or to support your existing business, but how do we use these things to make successful businesses long-term? There's just too much of the short-term thinking and price thinking. And so I think what we want to do is we want to try to build a community of experts, right? Of people who are actually in this space, whether that's entrepreneurs, it's creators, it's marketers, maybe it's devs too, I don't know. And we just want to cultivate a community where we can learn from each other. And we can interview each other and ask questions and, share experiences, et cetera, and start to create mental models and frameworks and, guides and things to like, that people can just download or watch so that they can just understand what the heck this stuff is and how to apply it immediately. Because I think this space is confusing, right? Think of Web3 as like the new internet. And in the 90s, no one understood where this was all going to go. And now look at how much we use the internet. And I think that's what's happening here with Web3. And so we want to get ahead of it, and we want to make sure that you can get ahead of it as well. Where Web3 Academy goes in the future, I don't know. Right now, it's a Discord community. And if you're not in it yet, make sure to get in it. There'll be a link in the show notes below that you can join in. Make sure to introduce yourself and follow all the steps when you get in. But really where we want to take this is we want to build resources, whether that's courses, whether that's worksheets and guides, whatever that may be. We're not quite sure yet, but we want to build stuff so that the masses, when they enter Web3, they have the tools they need to get started. And I really see Web3 Academy probably going into some form of DAO, or maybe it's some shared ownership through an NFT collection of some sort. I'm not sure. I think the community will sort of come up with this idea together, and we'll sort of see where it leads. But I think this is going to be an amazing business that aims to just help onboard people into Web3.
DAO, NFTs. Oh boy, I'm fired up. I'm fired up.
Me too.
Man, who knows? Who knows? The future is limitless. There's endless potential. Let's one quick. Let's dive a little bit deeper. Who do you think Web3 Academy is for?
Yeah, good question. I think that's also something we're still learning right now. I've been down the rabbit hole on Web3s. I've been helping some companies with Web3s. Our company has as well, which we'll talk about more in a second. And so the more I learn about this space, I think creators is massive for, whether you're an artist, a musician, a writer, maybe you have a newsletter, maybe you already have a community of some sort. I think Web3 is designed for you. And if you're not in this space, you need to be in the space and you need to be thinking your Web3 strategy. So it's really built for them. I think it's also built for marketers, right? Obviously, marketers play a big role in any business and helping a business to grow or come up with new strategies, et cetera. So I think marketers are going to learn a lot here. We are marketers, as well as we are entrepreneurs. We run our own digital marketing agency, Jay and I together, which we'll dive into. And I think Web3 just gives so much opportunity to business owners, entrepreneurs, whether that's you already have a business or you want to start a business in this space. And so those are the people that we really want to cultivate and bring into this community and just share ideas with. But you know what? I think anyone really can join in. The crypto curious is a term that I use a lot. Just anyone interested in figuring out how the heck we're going to use all this stuff. I think this will be the place for you.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, can't wait to meet all the community members that are going to be starting to come in and starting to work together on all these tools that we're going to be sharing and introducing. You mentioned us. Let's talk a little about us. Who the heck are these guys? Come on. This guy and this guy, what do they know about Web3, right? So let's just talk a little bit about our background. I'll jump in first. So my name is Jay. And as Kyle mentioned, we co-founded Impact Digital Marketing, which is a marketing agency that focuses mainly on Web2 tactics up to so far. But in the last 6 months, we've gotten much more involved in the Web3 side. And my background really came from the entrepreneurial side. I was an entrepreneur for 15 years. I mean, I did the business school thing and then went into management consulting and learned how to make 2x2 matrices, which, I can do that till the sun goes down. But I was always more fired up by the entrepreneurial side, more fired up by building my own thing. And particularly, I love community, and I really love building community. I spent a lot of time in past businesses on building real life communities. So learned a lot about the tools and tactics to do that. And then that transferred into the digital community space in the more recent decade. And now we're seeing another boost to community building online with all the Web3 tools that we can use. So I'm by no means an expert on Web3. I'm here to be a sounding board of what is out there, learning what's out there, researching what's out there. And I want to dive deep into anything the community wants to talk about and figure it out as we go together, really, right? I'm not going to present myself as, a 30-year expert. I mean, nobody has 30 years of expertise in Web3. It's only been around for a year or so. But my position is more the curious. I'll be the curious guy asking the questions and really pushing us to go further into the areas that we see the most potential in.
Love it. I love it. I'm going to be the one that's going to try to answer questions, and I'm going to get a lot of it wrong, I think, Jay, because you're right. There's absolutely no experts in this space. It just hasn't been around long enough. But I think once you get in and experiment and play around with these things, that's really how you learn, right? So I'm Kyle Reedhead. I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade now, I guess. And the other co-founder of Impact Digital Marketing, of course, along with Jay here. I started in sales and just sort of biz dev. Actually, I guess I have a kinesiology degree, so I went to school for something that has nothing to do with any of this. But I worked in the health tech field and mainly in sales. And then one day I decided that I hate the business corporate life, and I was going to quit, and I was going to move to Bali for a year, and I was going to surf and be a health coach. And so that's exactly what I did. And it was the best decision I ever made in my life. It was a hell of a year. And I turned my sales skills into marketing skills. And I built, I guess I'm a creator, a marketer, and an entrepreneur when I look at the three that we discussed, because I built a social media presence as a health coach. I built a community and a course around it. And then I learned to market it through sales funnels and ads and all that kind of stuff. But eventually that just sort of didn't really do it for me anymore. And I really enjoyed the marketing part of it and building businesses. So that was when Jay and I partnered up, and I left the health coaching side of things. You can probably, if you Google me, you still see some of that stuff. I used to have a podcast as well, but left that and went full on into marketing and building businesses, and helping others build their businesses. And it's been amazing and a great experience through and through. And then I got into crypto pretty heavy, I don't know, 3 years ago or so now. And I went deep down the rabbit hole. I'm the type that when I get into something, I just get completely obsessed. Like I'm pretty sure I remember just like reading newsletters and blogs in my bed for like an entire weekend, because I just needed to figure out what the heck Ethereum was and how this all worked. So over the last year, I've been working a lot with some of the bigger, and our company has been with some of the bigger crypto media companies in the space, companies like Real Vision, Bankless, and a host of others. And, so helping them grow on the Web2 side of things, so ads and things like that, but also working with them and just sort of learning the Web3 side. So some of them are launching NFTs, some have launched DAOs. And so that really was my like introduction to, wow, we can use these tools to create and really transform our businesses. And so again, dove deep down the rabbit hole there. And now we've helped some creators launch NFTs, and just really trying to experiment and learn in every way that I can, how we can use these tools. And I call it Web3 tools like NFTs and tokens and stuff, to really elevate our business, but not just business. The one thing I see about Web3 is that it allows you to elevate your community and to give back to your community and share with your community and put everyone on sort of an equal playing field. And that I just absolutely love. So I'm going to continue to explore that. And I'm not going to say I'm an expert by any means either, but I'm definitely going to try to dig in and find as many experts as I can to learn.
Nice. I think that's a great transition. If you're looking to learn about Web3 and the tools, you're in the right spot. That's what we're all about here. That's what Kai and I are going to be doing on a regular basis, sharing that with you. So let's just start at the top with the most obvious question then. Kai, like, what is Web3?
Maybe we need to do a whole other episode just on this topic, but Web3 honestly is a lot of things. And I think it's something that's evolving quickly right now. But I think the easiest way to think of it is it's literally a new version of the internet. It's the internet being built on a blockchain, right? Or on smart contracts, I guess is another way to put it. And it just allows for a few really interesting features that the internet doesn't currently offer. One is true ownership, right? To actually own digital goods, whether that's in the form of money or tokens, like equity or governance, or whether that's in the form of an NFT, which really could be anything, as we'll learn. And so it allows for the ownership of digital goods, and it removes trust. I think this is the key thing of what Web3 is doing, especially in today's world with everything going on with platforms, deplatforming people and all the censorship that's going on and all that. So Web3 is really the new foundation here, and it removes all intermediaries, right? So like you no longer need to trust payment platforms, or in some cases you don't need lawyers anymore. And there's just so many things that are going to get removed because we remove, or we create trust just through a trustless blockchain. And that's really what we're building these new apps on top of this. And I think it's just going to be, it's going to be a much better experience on the internet, a much fairer experience on the internet. I think the opportunity that comes here is going to be absolutely incredible. I think the other one final thing here is the interoperability. And I think this is really the game-changing feature for me for the internet, for the new internet, the Web3, is this idea that our crypto wallet is like our new profile, and we don't need to have a profile on Twitter and then one on Facebook and then one on, I don't know, Google and every single, website on the internet. We have one, and it just moves in and out of every single site. And it is our account. It holds all of our digital goods, and we can just move around, and all of that can go with us, more similar to like the real world, right? I'm not a new person every time I go into a new store. And so I think it just creates this really interesting new world that we're about to see on the internet.
Man, so exciting, so much potential. I think a couple things, you mentioned trust, and obviously security and privacy are super important in this space. We're not going to be jumping into that today, something that we'll probably talk about in future episodes. So just want to touch on that. I think that, really the exciting point is the interoperability and the value ownership that Web3 allows, that has never been possible before with digital goods. I mean, the analogy I think we've all heard is, without Web3, it's as if every time you leave your house and you go into a new restaurant or a new store, you buy goods, but then you got to leave them there. You buy a t-shirt, but you got to leave it in the store because you can't take it with you. That's insane. Imagine not being able to do that. Now with Web3, you can take that shirt with you wherever you want online.
Right. And what's really cool is, with all these things that you're owning, whether it's an NFT or token, every application that you then move into, they connect to your wallet and they can see what's in there. And now they can create specific experiences or give specific access to things just based off what you already own. And I think that is going to really unlock so many new potential opportunities for businesses, right? This sort of seamless approach where you can just kind of know who people are or what they have, and make experiences based off that is it's going to be mind blowing.
Yeah. I mean, it's really just the beginning. So let's dive a little bit more into you're talking a lot about, like, the fundamental change that's happening in the internet from Web 2 to Web 3. Let's just what are those fundamentals? Let's really make sure that we define those for everybody.
Yeah, I think the big ones is ownership. And so, if you create an app, if you create a business, if you create a protocol, it can be owned and governed by the community, right? You can truly own anything now. And so there's governance or equity of, apps and businesses, but there's also just owning, non-fungible things like certificates or tickets, right? Or art or real estate. I think everything eventually is going to be put onto the blockchain and into Web3. And so we have true ownership for the first time, similar to cash, right? It's the only thing only type of money that we truly own is cash. And so we now have that version on the internet. So that's huge. And then again, the interoperability. So the ability to just move in and out of any application, any metaverse, which I'm sure we're going to talk about this a lot, and bring your stuff with you. And I think those are the two big things.
Sweet. So let's talk about some tools then. What does ownership and interoperability, what tools does that present for a business or a community or an organization to use to grow their business, to incentivize their community?
I love the word tools. I think a lot of people get lost in this whole NFT craze going on right now, where there's 10,000 ape profile pictures or whatever. And people are just speculating and flipping NFTs and whatever. And I think it gets lost that, like, look, these are just tools for a business, right? I often get the question of, like, how do I start a business with NFT? Or not even how to start a business. Sorry, they're just saying, what should I do with NFTs? I want to launch an NFT. How do I do it successfully? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, what business do you want to start? Right? Like, what are you passionate about? And I think people just, they don't connect that it's like an NFT is just another form of starting a business, right? It's a startup. So is launching a token. There's your equity of a business, right? And so I think tokens, NFTs, like, these are just what I call Web3 tools. And then your crypto wallet is another tool, right? Everyone needs to have this to interact with any of these things. There's going to be so many different features that wallets are going to provide. Right now, they are awful. And I know everyone hates wallets and you got to write down your seed phrase and whatever. But your wallet is going to be your resume, right? It is going to be your profile. It is going to be literally everything in the future on the internet. So I think your crypto wallet, your tokens, and your NFTs, these are when we refer to Web3 tools moving forward, this is what we're talking about. And, I'll just dive into a little bit of how I see these tools being used. I think what's really interesting about, tokens and NFTs in particular is they're permissionless. And so you can create these things at any time in like 1 second. And so what do these tools do? What's the point in them? Well, you can use NFTs or tokens, and they're kind of interchangeable. You can use them both for many things, but you can use them to fundraise and bootstrap a company, right? And you can literally do that in a second. You can use it to access content on web pages for certain people. Think of like a membership style, but instead you can just do it with NFT or tokens. You can use it to, give access into a community. I don't know, maybe a Discord community or something, right? You can create revenue streams with it through royalties. You can use it to tokenize like IP, right? Intellectual property. You can use it to, I don't know, use it for governance, right? To get your community to help vote on things. And there's so many different ways that you can use these tools. And yes, you can do all of those things in the Web2 world, right? The difference is I don't have to ask anyone to do these. I don't have to go into a bank or go and sign some documents to get an LLC created, or, ask my government if I can do this. I can literally just do it, and anyone in the world can immediately access it, right? So permissionlessly, I can create a form of funding for my company, or I can share in the equity, and I can do it immediately and have them liquid immediately and available to global markets within seconds. It's absolutely unbelievable what this does. If you've ever started a business, the amount of intermediaries that you have to go through and like hoops you have to jump through to get it started is insane. Now I can do it I can do it live right here while we're talking. It's incredible. It really is incredible.
We should do that on a future episode. We'll create live with you guys and prove to you the simplicity of making this happen. Because I think one of the challenges that a lot of people face is it's not simple yet. Right. There is, there is a level of tech knowledge and tech comfort that you need to participate and use these tools that we're mentioning. And then there's also just a level of imagine we're here in 1990 and the internet is created. There's just a lot of complexity because we're early on. These applications aren't simple to use yet. User interfaces are still, they're quite, tech heavy. And I'm not even talking about what it was like, years ago. It's still at a point of challenge. So I think maybe we'll do that in future episodes. We'll show everybody how it's going.
And I think one thing to note is so yes, it is very complicated. It's very confusing, this space. Web3 Academy aims to simplify that for everyone, right? Like our goal here is to learn as much as we can, and then to disseminate this information back to everyone in simple ways through mental models and frameworks, et cetera. And I guess it's also important to note, we are also going to try to share. So there's many tools that are being made right now so that you can do all these things like creating NFTs, tokens, et cetera, without code, right? So no code applications. And that's really what we're going to try and share. This is not like you need to know coding to use this stuff. Of course, that's not how the masses are going to get into Web3. It's going to be from these easy to use, amazing UX experiences. And those are all coming and being built. And so we're going to keep ahead of those and make sure to share those with everyone, and provide resources for those. And I think that's going to make everyone's lives a lot easier. And, yes, it's difficult to use right now, but look at how many big companies in the world are starting to launch NFTs and play around with Web3, right? So people are learning, and they're learning fast. And I think now is the time to get ahead of this stuff, to start understanding it. Don't wait until it's as easy as, the internet is now. Obviously, those who learned how to build websites or use the internet in the 90s, they were far, far, far ahead of those who just started now, for example, right? I don't know who's just started the internet now. It's 2022, but I'm sure it's happening. So I think, now is the time to learn this stuff. And yeah, we'll do our best to sort of disseminate that information in simple ways for everyone.
Amazing. All right. Well, let's wrap up. I think this is a solid launch for the Web3 Academy podcast. Really want to get you guys just salivating a little bit about what's to come. There's going to be nothing but tools and information to be shared that'll guide you on your journey. And we hope to be those guides that can take you where you need to go. Kyle, let's just share final thoughts. where do you want to, what do you want to share? Where do you want people to go next? What do you want people to be doing? How do you think they should be feeling?
Yeah, I think first of all, everyone get in the Discord if you're not in there. If you don't know how to use Discord yet, we're making the onboarding experience very easy, and we will share a bunch of tools to help as well. We're going to be doing a lot of content inside of the Discord. So we're going to be interviewing other members and then experts across the industry inside there going live. The schedule is in the Discord, so just check that out. We will also then get it out here on YouTube and Spotify afterwards to show you guys as well, just to keep it easy. But we're going to do a lot of things inside of that Discord that are going to be great for learning and networking. So I would say, like, number one, get in there. And then participate. Like, look, as Jay said, like, we are not experts by any means, but we are going to interview as many experts as we can. And if you have some ideas, if you have thoughts, share them. If you have questions, please share them. This is it's literally, a big community that we're just going to all try and learn this stuff together and see where this goes. The other thing I would say is think about what we can do with Web3 Academy. We are basically just kind of setting off this company, or whatever we want to call this Web3 Academy. And we want the community to take this and run with it. And let's see what we do. Maybe we build courses for the masses. Maybe we create a DAO and we invest in, other people building marketing tools, or building, tools inside of Web3. And we make a DAO out of that. I don't know. I don't know where we're going to go here. But as Jay said, the opportunities are endless, and I'm excited to see where this community takes this. So yeah, just get in, get involved. And I think a lot of good things are going to happen for the Web3 Academy community.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for listening. We're stoked to be on this Web3 journey together and with all of you. And we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, keep it real, keep connecting, keep playing in the space.
Absolutely. Peace out, friends. Thank you for listening to Web3 Academy. We hope this helps you along your Web3 journey. And if it does, please share this episode and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. By the way, if you have yet to join the Discord community, you are missing out. This is where all the magic happens. This is where we learn, where we ask questions, where we network. You want to be in there. The link to join is in the description below. And finally, a quick disclaimer. Nothing in this podcast was financial advice. Crypto and Web3 can be risky. You can literally lose it all. In fact, if you invest on account of what we say, you probably will lose it all. So don't do that. In all honesty, the point of this podcast is to remove the noise of markets and price and focus on utility and implementation anyway. So you should not take any of this as financial advice. Thank you, friends, and see you in the next one.